First Wednesday Pilates class of the semester. Welcome to class. And we're going to start just opening up the body a little bit using the foam rollers. So let's begin by taking this lengthways down your spine. We have two examples here. So you want to be sure that when you sit on it, you're sacrum your tail on one end, and then when you lay back, the base of the skull is on the other end. So in other words, don't let your head hang off of it. Okay. And your feet should then be about 4 to 5 inches apart. Why don't you grab the ball and then take it between your inner thighs, so above the knees, below the pelvic girdle. And as you squeeze it, you should be able to feel the inner thigh muscles engage. Right, can you feel that? So as you're laying here, the spine is in its neutral position. The pelvis is flat. And you can feel the shoulder blades fall around the curves of the roller towards the floor. Your feet are grounded. As in a yoga class, you want to feel equal weight on the right foot and the left foot, equal weight on the inside and outside of the foot. So you really almost imagine that you are creating like a triangle under each foot at the heel, the big toe ball of the foot, and the pinky toe ball of the foot. And hugging the ball, just squeeze it in a little bit more. See if you can feel like an invisible line or central axis from like the pelvic floor up towards your throat. And then if you release, that sensation may go away. That can be a little subtle, but just try squeeze, because when you squeeze the ball with the inner thighs, not only the inner thighs engage, but also the pelvic floor engages. Your transverse abdominis, the lowest of the abdominal muscle, engages. And you'll feel this connection in the midline of your body, which is useful because we want to keep that midline right over the center of the roller. So now open the arms out to the side. Here, if you wanted to use the hand weights, you could. Keep that in mind. Or not. And then keeping the back of the hands grounded, just rock a little bit from side to side. You're going to massage out the space between your shoulder blades, the back of the skull, and then also the area here under your sacrum, where the sacrum is that big triangular bone near the base of the spine. And you'll feel that deep massage there as you go back and forth. Also, if you keep the back of your hands to the ground, you'll be able to feel that stretch here across the chest and across the top of the shoulder. Everybody feel that? Should feel good. We're opening up. We tend to all be a little bit scrunched here and crunched up from like hunching over our tech or just like collapsing into the furniture that is designed that way to let you just collapse and be cuddled by it. That's good for posture, maybe good for mental health sometimes. Anyway, so center here. Feet are grounded again, and now you lift the arms up, embrace the air over your body. It's like you're hugging someone here into your chest. Feel the shoulder blades drop a little bit, and then pull the arms open slowly. Exhale to bring the arms all the way out and down to the side, opening the chest, feel the stretch maybe in the upper inner arm. And inhale, the arms rise. And exhale and release. Now, hugging that ball between your legs should help you find a little bit more balance here. Because of course you'll notice when the arms come up, you're less stable. You have to have equal weight on the right and left side, draped around the curve of the roller. And we lift again. The arms come up. You hug the air in with a deep inhale, exhale, open the mouth, breathe out. And as you're exhaling, 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 feel your abdominal wall knit together, draw deep. So we inhale, the lungs expand, the belly expands. And exhale, everything pulls together and in. It's like the air leaves the balloon and all collapses in towards center. And one more, full breath in. The arms rise. Shoulders are still sinking to the ground. Exhale, pull the arms open, the blades hug around the roll. Next, we'll lift the arms straight up to the ceiling. The arms a little wider than your chest, point the fingers to the sky. If you're holding the weights, you can wrap your hands around the fist. And then we're going to lift the hands up to the ceiling, shrug the shoulder blades off the roller. That's a little less stable, and exhale, pull the blades down. So by using this unstable surface as we do these movements, you're engaging more of your core, and also training yourself. The balance is like it's an exercise in coming away from center and then coming back to center continuously. So you shrug the shoulders up as the arms rise high. Exhale, pull the blades down, let them melt towards the floor and hug the roller. And when you lift the arms, the back gets wider and reverse up. And the chest gets narrow. When you exhale and lower the blades, you can feel the chest broaden, the collarbones stretch across the front of your body, and the blades knit around the roller beneath you. One more. Inhale to lift the arms, and exhale to sink the blades. Now, as you inhale, turn the palms forward, and then exhale, lengthen the arms down at your side. Reach long to the end of the mat with your hands. Next, we lift the arms up to the ceiling, and exhale, bring the arms back by your ears. Pull the rib cage connected to the roller. Reversing the direction, arms lift up in unison and parallel, and exhale all the way forward and down. Arms rising here, coming up. Exhale, reach the arms behind you, stretch, yawn the body, open to the sky. Bring the arms forward, shoulders heavy, and exhale all the way down and long. Do one more of these. Arms lift in parallel, take them back. Try to have the hands the same distance from the ground, no matter where you are in the movement. Inhale, lift the arms forward, feel the weight of the arms, the weight of the weights if you're holding them, and exhale, glide the arms down to half the ground. You can leave the weights there on the floor and now take your hands to your shoulders. We're doing circles with the elbows. You pull the elbows into your waist, inhale, bring them up, exhale, out, around, down, and then in. You're drawing a circle with each elbow at your side. This should feel really good in the shoulders. If it doesn't, it's a little smaller and slower. If it feels great, go as large as you can, rotating the arm on the socket, and even shrugging the shoulder blades up and then down as you move. You feel the pull across the back, across the chest. We'll complete the circle at the end of the exhale, reverse. So you go low back, behind you, forward, up and in. You arms skim along the side of your ribs. One breath per circle. It's an inhale and a longer exhale to complete the circle. Do this again. Feel that massage you're getting between your shoulder blades. This is going to help release tension out of your upper back and your neck. Meanwhile, your feet are sinking into the ground like they're sinking into soft sand on your favorite beach in the world. One more breath here, one more circle. And then extend the arms forward, pick up the weights if you're using them. And now we take the arms up and back, all the way by your ears on the inhale. Circle the arms out to the side walls as you exhale. Sweep the arms forward, bring your hands by your side. Then turn the palms down. Inhale to lift the arms up and back. And then exhale to stretch the arms forward as the hands reach towards your heels, while the shoulders move away from your ears. Palms down, you lift the arms. As the arms go up, the shoulder blades drop. As they go back by your ears, they sink towards your waist. And then circle around. Move forward. Do one more in this direction. Arms in perfect unison, no matter where they are in the movements. Complete the circle, reverse. Palms up, circle wide. Reach the arms back in a semicircle. Exhale, dive them forward and parallel just to the outside of your body, the outside of your hips. And then palms up to circle, reach behind and lengthen. Exhale, push the air out of your lungs. So inhale all the way back. Exhale all the way forward. Do one more. Feel that stretch in different parts of your chest wall, your pectoralis. And here, we're going to put the weights to the side so you don't roll on them. And then slide off of the roller and slither off. And then you can push the roller aside. And take a moment to lay on your back. Knees still bent, feet are still grounded, and you should feel a lot more connected to the ground. Just the waist floating off the mat surface. That's good. And maybe a little more relaxed and deeper in your breathing too. So to come up from here, let's pull your right knee into your chest, hand goes behind the thigh. Pull the left knee in and lift the leg up towards the ceiling. We're going to push the legs forward, lift your head, neck, and chest. Exhale and roll forward to come up to sit. So you come up using your body equally on the right and left side instead of twerking, twisting, and pushing. Use your core already to do this. All right. So we're going to go back into what's called an upper up curl. So it's a good idea to start from above. It helps take tension out of your neck. You keep your heels grounded and the toes can come off. That's okay. Start with your hands to your legs, maybe squeeze the legs together. And we begin with a pelvic tuck. I'm going to lift my elbows so you can see what's going on here. So right now you're sitting up on your sits bones. We're going to curl the tail forward to go behind the sits bones and then sink back and feel you're on your glute now. And then you're going a little lower, you're going to feel that bony triangle in the sacrum. Go down a little bit lower, maybe the heels reach forward to hold you in position. Go down to your hips, go down to your waist, go down to the base of the ribs. So at the bra line or the tip of the shoulder blades, there you are. This is your upper curl. So stretch the arms forward, look down your nose at your abs. You feel that work in your upper abdominals? That's what we're looking for. Good. Now we're coming up. So hands to the back of your legs. Bend the elbows. Pull yourself up from forward to lift. That's good. And you guys all kept your feet grounded. If that was a problem for anyone, we could always use ankle weights here. We do have them here at the Matchbox. Let's do that again. So you're starting to get into your core a little bit. You felt it? So heels ground, sit up tall. Arch the back a little bit. Your tail lifts behind you like happy dogs. And then curl the tail forward underneath you. So the pelvis here is rotating on the femurs, the thigh bones. You go behind your sits bones, over the sacrum. It's important to notice like these bony landmarks. Go down till you come down to your waist, the tail still lifting. Go to your rib cage, the tip of the blades. Bring your upper curl. Feel that engagement right here under the chest. And then we lift again, hands to your legs. Feel the elbows wide. Lift and try to peel off the mat. All the way up. Good work. And then sit up, lift your chest, the collarbones wide. Excellent. Everyone good? Let's do it again one more time. So we're doing a combination here of a roll down. It's a very important Pilates exercise. We're thinking of lowering the vertebra one by one to get mobility and also strengthen the muscles around the spine. So we go down. We start again with that rotation of the pelvis. You tuck is what we call this. When you tip the tail forward and lift it, and then you're rounding the back. You want to try to make your back as round as possible here. So keep lifting the tail as you go down. Work your spine into the mat. No falling, no going down in chunks. Come just to the upper ab curl. Dig your heels into the ground. Lift your head. Exhale, pull it up. And then you can bring your gaze to the horizon as you lift your heart here. Very, very nice. Good work. Yes. So now we're going to go back into an exercise called 100. So once you get down to the upper curl, we'll pull the knees into your chest. And we're going to experiment to see what feels good in your back and what feels good, like working your center without overwhelming it for leg position. So you start sitting up again, begin with the pelvic tuck. Curve your spine, going down, just with massage over the glutes. Imprint your body down, now the arms further forward if you want more work, without holding onto the legs. That would be an option. Come down, tip of the blades here, pull your right knee into your chest, hold onto the leg, just encourage the upper ab curl, pull the left leg in. Good, squeeze the legs together. Now, if you slide the feet forward like on a conveyor belt, slowly you're going to feel more engagement into the low abs. Do you feel that? And maybe more engagement into the upper abs as you hold that upper curl. Exhale and pull the knees back in. Chin to chest, don't look up at your knees, look down at your belly. And you're taking legs forward. Slide them out. Feel that increasing load into the abdominals. You don't want the back to arch. You're pressing your waistline to the ground. Exhale and pull that back in. Very good. One more. If you need to support your head with one hand, you can do that. The legs slide forward, reach. Pull it back in, nice and slow. Good job. And then hold on to your legs. We're rocking forward enough to give your neck a break. Yes, just roll the shoulders a few times. You felt that? So when your head's like that, the more vertical your neck is, the more you'll feel the stretch in the back of your neck. The front of your throat is working. It hardly ever works in everyday life, right? So you may get into the place you go, oh, this really feels uncomfortable. Don't panic if it's too much rest. Come back up into it when you can. I'm going to try to give you breaks so that you build some strength gradually. Anyway, so now we're going back for the full hundreds experience. When you're in that upper ab curl with the knees bent, and whatever angle works for you, for your core, we're going to pump the arms up and down either side. So here we go. Sit up tall. Begin with the pelvic tuck. You roll the spine down, placing each vertebra one at a time into the mat. Right, and this is going to warm up your core. Pilates called it the internal furnace. You go all the way down. Let's stretch the arms forward. Maybe go hands straight, or use your hands to like left leg in, then right. Squeeze the legs together to firm up the inner thighs and the lower belly. Push your legs forward a little bit, and then start pumping the arms. Inhale for 5 beats. Exhale for 5 more. Now, if you look up, your head will fall back, and then you can feel it more in your neck. So chin to chest, looking down at the abdominal wall. You're breathing here. As necessary, you can support your head with one hand. Maybe pump 5 times, and then switch. The traditional count is 5 beats as you inhale, 5 beats as you exhale. And then 10 times makes 100. Of course, you'll be sad to know I don't count. And you'll probably do more, or sometimes you'll do less. Keep reaching long through the fingertips. Now, if you need more of a challenge, you can extend the legs up to the ceiling. And depending on hamstring tightness, that might be easier or harder. We're doing one more breath here. And then fold your knees in, lay your head down. Lower your toes to the mat, bend your heels, arms out to the side. We're just gonna rock a little from side to side. So let your knees fall to the right, turn your head to the left. You're tipping the pelvis to get rotation for your spine at the bottom and at the top. Exhale, come back to center. Just push your toes away, right? And then knees to the left, look to the right. Keep the right shoulder blade down. And exhale, pull back to center here. We'll do one more set like this. Knees slide over to the right and look left. Exhale, center, and then knees over to the left, look to the right. So come back to center. I want to do one other exercise to feel your root core. So taking your hands onto your hip bones, right? You can feel that the 2 hip bone crests, with the little pointy bits here, are pointing straight up to the ceiling, maybe on the slight diagonal out. We want to keep these 2 pelvic halves level. And with the legs together, just tilt your knees over to the right. See how far you can go without lifting the left hip bone off of the mat. It's not going to be very far. You feel it? And then exhale, come back to center. And then try the other side. So let your knees tip to the left. Hold the right side heavy. You can push your hand into the pelvic bone there to help keep the weight there. And exhale, come back to center. That was good. Now, you can also imagine that your left side is going to sink into the mat. So almost like a counter rotation. Think of the left side sinking and then take the knees over to the right. See if maybe you can go a little further, but you also go a little bit more work in your oblique abdominals here on the inside of the hip. And then exhale, come back. And now we're going to push weight down into the right hip and then slide the knees over to the left until you feel that work in your abs, preventing your body from tipping. So one of the things about Pilates is we're always trying to strengthen the center of our body, our core. And one of the ways we do that is just continue, knees go right, left hip is heavy, is by reducing the weight of the limbs, moving away from center while keeping the center steady. So that's what you're doing right now. And then as the legs go over to the left, you're pressing down with your right hip into the ground. It's like it's falling into quicksand here. Does everyone feel those abdominals working there? Yes, good. And then exhale, come back to center. It was the same thing, come back to center, pull both knees into your chest. And then let's lift the head, come to an upright curl. The same thing we were doing with like a conveyor belt, with the legs in tabletop. You bring your hands behind your head. And then just slide the legs forward until you feel the abdominals really engage, but without changing the spinal position. So if the back starts to arch, you've gone too far, and then you exhale to pull it back. It's really important to know like where you're safe and where you cross the boundary into unsafe, right? So we do this not with blaring music, with focus on what you feel in your body as you move. So you stretch the legs forward, feel the lower abdominals, connect, contract, engage, and then exhale, drag it back in. That was lovely. All right, so now come up to sitting again. If the full roll-up is new to you, you may want to use the TheraBand. So we're going to start with that, and you can always abandon it if you decide you don't want to do it or you don't need it. So you take the band wide around the ball of the foot and the arch, you turn to free at the top, and you sit upright. Now to sit upright, you might, if your back line is tight, you might have to bend your knees a little bit to sit for one of those 2 sits bones. So if you're sitting on 2 champagne plates. And then from here, we tuck. So you pull the tail forward, you round the low back, feel how your back kind of bulges out at your waist. And then you're rolling your spine down just like we did before, going over the glutes, over the sacrum, come all the way down to the ground. We go past the upper curl, like shoulders down and neck to head. And then you nod your head, you lift your head, chin to chest, coming up. Hold back with the arms, push forward with your legs. Pull yourself forward and take a deep dive over. Exhale, where it's right before it gets difficult when you pick the ribs up off the ground. And then take a deep dive here, bending over your knees. Bend the knees if you need to, as long as you still feel the stretch in the back of your thighs. And then we stack the spine like you're zipping your back up a wall, coming up from the bottom to the top. Collarbones wide, you gaze the self out of the horizon, we begin again. So start with the pelvic curl, pull the waist back, the tail moves forward and up through your legs. Good, you push out through your feet. You work your spine down, take your time. You don't want to fall, we use this gravity. Yeah, so if you go down in a chunk, that's something like, oh, like it just wasn't aware that it needed to take its time. And also gravity is hard. It will pull us to the ground if you're not prepared. So use the breath to help you. Coming up, lift your head, neck, and shoulders. Exhale. Pull into the band. Pull yourself up. You want to feel your abs. You can use your arms too. Diving over. Now, because your feet are lifting, I'm just going to grab you some ankle weights. And sometimes it just has to do with body proportion. And of course, also, if it's a group response, you might not be perfect at this yet, right? I'm still not perfect at it. Well, of course, we always try. So we have these ankle weights here in the closets. You're always welcome to grab them. And what this will do is it'll help you keep the feet anchored. In fact, at a regular studio, the mats are heavier, just to really forward and down. And just break this with your ankle. We're not even going to attach it. And then you still use this. Otherwise, it's the exact same exercise that we have to help you get your spine down with less effort and better control. All right. So if you found like this was a little too easy for you, you're welcome to try it without the band. So you can put the band aside or not. Yeah, you can try it once. If you discover that you're going down like falling into it instead of controlling your way down, then you go back to the band. Give yourself, some time to adapt to this. It's different from probably any other type of exercise program you've done. So you can sit upright. The arms can maybe go forward. If the arms are lower, it's easier. If the arms are higher, it's more difficult. Load away from center. So we tuck and then you roll back. You can still use the band. And you curve your back down. Exhale to take the rib cage down. That's it. And then coming up, you can lift the arms behind you, bring the arms up, forward. Exhale to pull up. Try to use the right and left side of the body equally, diving over your legs here. Take the stretch. Reach forward, right. If you're using the band, just pull the elbows back and maybe a little wide. Right, so that you have tension still in the band, and then stack the spine bottom to top, lifting up. Good, doing all right? And then just go down again. So reach out through your heels, curl the tail, roll your spine back, inch by inch by inch. Oh, okay, so see, I see what's happening. You're not getting the pelvic tuck enough. So everyone here, go ahead, just put the band aside, hold your knees in. You land your back to the end. So what we're doing here is just starting with that pelvic tuck and arch, because I feel like we're not getting enough rotation here as you're going down. So lay your back, bend your knees, feet are grounded, go right up the chest. Take your knees up to the center. And place your feet on the mat. So you're going to do this. You're going to start in this kind of a bridge position. And now here, just pull your waist down and let the tail tip a little bit up. So the tail's going to go up as you go behind your 6 months like so, and then release it back down. So that's the top. That's the beginning of flexion in the lower part of the spine. Everybody feel that? So you can tip the tail up and release it down. Good. Do it one more time. Exhale to top. Keep the sacrum grounded. Inhale to lower the tail. You can also arch. You pull the tail down, increase the arch a little bit back. And then exhale, go back to neutral. And do that again. And this is important when you're doing a lot of these movements, including this roll down. So come on up, let's have you do this. Better than do it. So we're going to do the weights here. And then we're and in order not to start the movement and then march back, you have to continue to keep pulling the tail up in that feeling of the tongue as you go further and further back. So that the middle of your waist touches the mat. So you're not going to go down a little bit, and then the next thing that touches are your shoulder blades and your ribs. Because that's how you work that. You don't want that. So we're going to begin here, start your pelvic up, curve the tail up, and push the feet forward. Now, keep pulling the belly in, keep pulling the chest forward and down, keep lifting the tail up. So you're arching. Feel the arch. The belly has to pull back and in so the tail can go up. Just like, nope, not that. So this has to rotate around like so. You've got to dial one side of your body to go down. So again. Good, that's better. Now don't move. Now lift the tail higher, lift it down. No, don't be back with your shoulders, be back with your waist. That is it. See, now keep going up with the tail and down with your waist. Not so much your shoulders. You're bending the spine here. Push this in up, other way. This goes in like it's a bowling ball here. Go down and around, curl your tail up. That's it. Keep curling the tail up. Keep curling the tail up. Keep curling the tail up. You're safe. And now you're down. Right? Did you feel how that's different? Yeah. Kareem, could you just go with that? Just so you can see it too. So come on up and then pull this in and come around. It's like the bowling ball here, come around it. So wait for a second, coming up. Up here, bend, dive, or stretching it out and over. Can you see, Joanne? Do you want to come to the side and watch? Try Kareem is here at the back and to the top. So see how she's rotating the pelvis. Now the tail comes up through her leg. So she can go over the hips, down to the waist. But it's hard because the waist has a reverse curve in it. But so what was happening with you is you were starting correctly, and then just like gravity took over and you fell through to your upper back. Right? And that's true of so many
do that.
Yeah. Yeah. So I wanted to help you, but I also knew that other people would be able to.
It's hard. It's so hard. It's hard. It took me like 5 years and I'm still.
Every once in a while, you go back to the earlier pattern because the body just wants to like fall into gravity. But we're trying to control your descent so that you get stronger and also more flexible with part of your back and your abs. Right?
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think sometimes you say, like, imagine that your body is curled around a giant wheel.
Yes.
That keeps you in that shape all the way down the wheel. You're like attached to
Right,
the wheel.
right. It's like one of those horrible cartoons when the tentacles.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you want that kind of feeling.
You got it totally round.
All right, does anyone else want help with that? Or good? We'll do it. So let's do that again. And I know I abandoned the screen here, but the people here also catch. So here we go. So again, so you're really thinking, so this is critical because so many exercises in Pilates have to do with this rolling and unrolling of your spine, because Pilates believe that you are as young and as healthy as your spine was flexible and strong. And that means every single joint. And there's a lot of them. We've got all these different vertebrae. If you ever look at a skeleton of a fish, you can see all those different articulations, right? And we have that same structure in our bodies too. So the trick is you've got to really resist going back with the upper body, right? So that like I'm pulling forward with my arms and my chest is pulled down and in, like my sternum aiming for my navel. And I'm pulling this up and around. So the pelvis is rotating on the femurs to go down with control. And then I'm really pressing so hard into my waistline to get it down. And then I finally get to release it when my head goes all the way down. So you can practice this over and over and over again. It's going to take a while because you're probably a little stiff there in that part of your back. And some people are more lordotic than others. That means they have more of like the belly forward, the tail up and out. And it's harder for them. Yeah.
I
back here. And then I lose it.
So then what a good thing to do is just to practice going to that point and coming up again initially, right? So if you feel that you lose the curve and you're starting to arch back, then maybe you don't want to go any further today. Maybe you just want to start in a smaller range, right? So good. So take it down again. So move the tail forward, that's it. And keep bending forward with the ribs and the chest. You got to lift your tail more. So you got to pull, yes, like that. It's like someone's pulling the mat forward up from under you. That's it, that is it. Keep lifting the tail, keep rounding the back, keep lifting the tail. Keep lifting the tail, I know. That's good, try it a little bit more. You're almost there, go down over the sacrum. Look at you, good job.
Good job. Good job.
Yeah. You all know how hard that is, right?
Yeah.
And this is like your first minute doing Pilates.
Right.
So give yourself a big round of applause and a pat on the back too. Yes, good. And coming up, even though that's harder because of gravity, it's easier because the spine moves easier that way. It tends to get a little stuck going down. So like, I never want to say one way is easier than the other because it depends. Right? Well, right, that's because gravity wants to keep you down. Yeah, Joanne, good. See, I thought that looked good. Did that feel better in your back?
It definitely did.
Good, good, good. Yeah. Okay. So that's the first thing. If it feels wrong, it's probably wrong. You know? So it's like so important to listen to our bodies and feel like what the hell happened? You know? And then we figure out how to change it so that it's right for you. Yeah. Okay, so we're going to move on from there. Good work, everyone. And for those of you who are used to doing this, thank you for the review and the modeling of the front floor. Always appreciate that. Okay, so here we're going to lay on the back. Everyone will be happy with that, but you do have to get down correctly. And then we're going to use the theraband on the right leg to do some leg circles and opening stretches. You'll love these. So again, let's see you take it down. So use the band around your both feet first. Or not, if you don't need it. Good. Keep curling the tail up. Imprint the spine down. Yes. It's like if you were doing this in sand on the beach, I would see an imprint of every single one of your vertebrae on the way down. Keep lifting the tail, bend forward for your waist. Good. Keep bending forward with the chest and up with the tail. You got it. There you are. Hooray, hooray. All right. So now we're going to take the left leg up from underneath the bed, and the right leg is up in the air. The band with the leg. And you can wrap the band around your hand and your wrist. Bottom leg straight, foot flexed, top leg up in the air. Now, if your hamstrings are loose enough, the leg can come up like to vertical or even past vertical towards your chest. Otherwise, you might want to bend the knee a little bit and still feel the stretch in the back of the leg in your hamstrings. Does everyone feel that? You're lifting up through the heel and down through the sits bone to feel the stretch in the back of your leg. Now we're going to point the foot and flex it just a little bit. And when you pull the toes down to the knee, you'll feel that deeper stretch in the calf. I know, right? Good. And then you have a soft point of the foot. The foot kind of looks like a Barbie doll's foot, right? You're reaching up through the ball of the foot. And then the toes are a little bit soft. It's like you're wearing a high-heeled shoe in midair. And we anchor the elbows down on your side. Now, inhale, we bring the leg across the body, keeping the right hip down. And then the right leg goes forward, over the other leg. Externally rotate, take it out to the side, pull it around and up to the ceiling. So you draw a circle in the air and the leg rotates on the socket. So you tip the knee down and in towards the floor as you cross. As you go forward and around, the knee and the toes point to the ceiling. As you go out to the right, the knee points to the right, the toes point to the right, and come up and around to the top. Yeah, and while you do this, you're going as far as you can without destabilizing the pelvis. So the two pelvic halves stay grounded and balanced here on the floor. Lift it up, bring it high, and let's do that again. Inhale over, and exhale all the way around low, out to the side, up to the top. Everybody feel the stretch. So when the leg crosses over, you feel the outer hip and thigh stretch. When it goes forward, you don't really feel stretch. Try to keep the wrist straight. But now as you rotate the leg externally, he points out away from you. Pull the leg all the way out, get a little stretch to the inner thigh, and then bring the leg up to the top again, stretch at the back of the leg. Okay, so we're reversing it. So we rotate the leg externally, right leg moves to the right, left hip and left side of the body are pressing into the floor. Circle the leg forward. The foot and the knee point up at the bottom, you pull them across, the knee pulls in, lift the leg up here, and we reach again. So it's 1 breath per circle. We start with a short inhale, and then we have a long, long exhale all the way around. The point of the long exhale is to engage the abdominal wall here. So at the top of the movement, you should almost be like gasping for breath, right? You want to suck the air in with that inhale, and then exhale all the way around. The slower you do it, the harder this is. Keep that right glute down, lift the leg up. We're going to do 3 more. Short, deep inhale, long exhale. So actually think, like if I think about drawing a circle in the air with my foot, I imagine that circle is the face of a clock. So from the top, you're going to take it out, inhale for the first 3 hours, 12 to 3. Exhale from 3 all the way back to 12. Exhale, 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 and out of breath. Let's do 1 more, same thing. Now, if it's too much at this pace, inhale for 4 and then exhale from 4 to 12. But you want to feel that abdominal contraction deep in the low belly as you do each circle. Now, from the top here, you're going to take both ends of the band in the right hand, hold the left hand on the left hip bone, rotate the leg externally, and take the leg out to the side. The elbow sort of supports the weight of the leg, like a kickstand here on a bicycle. And you're trying to rotate the left side of your body into the ground, so there's no lifting, and you feel maximum work in your left abs. And then rock the leg a little bit towards your shoulder and away. Pull the leg up to the ceiling, use your upper inner thigh muscle, lift the leg here. At the top, we switch hands. So the left hand holds the strap, pull the leg across, first with the hip down to feel the stretch in the outer thigh along the IT band area. And then you can extend the right arm and bring the leg over and stretch, peeling the spine off the mat so that the chest is still facing the ceiling, but the hips are facing the wall. That's it. And you pull the leg back towards your left shoulder to increase the stretch, bend the knee if you need to. And then we rotate the leg internally to increase the stretch into the glute and the sacral area. Are you with me so far? It should feel good. If it's not good, bend the knee or come out of the stretch a little bit. You choose how deep it is. Exhale and we unwind. Come from the left shoulder to the waist, to the right glute. The foot lifts up to the sky. Give it a little extra stretch here. And then you fold the knee into your chest. The band comes off. Hug the knee into your body nice and tight. As long as that doesn't feel bad on your knee. If you have knee issues, you would pull in the thigh. And that would leave you a little more space at the knee. Otherwise, you can press the knee in as you pull the knee as close as possible to your belly and chest wall. And stretch the other leg long in front of you. Now, release the right leg forward. This is the magic. So now shake out the legs. And then just rest and feel the difference in the 2 sides. Anyone want to tell me what you notice? Yes.
I feel like my right leg feels like more like stretched out, like relaxed than my left.
It is. It's relaxed and it also feels longer. Anything else? You might notice that when you're here, that the right leg is more externally rotated. Can you feel that like it wants to flop open, or the other leg is more pointed straight up? And you also should feel, it's not only the leg that feels like this, can you feel how the whole right side of the body has dropped a little more into the ground? So when we worked it, we took tension out of the whole right side of the body, and it's sinking a little deeper. This is relaxing the muscles after working them, while working them. Okay, so now the left side is dying to do the same thing. So let's pull the left knee in, embrace it in. And then you can take the band around the left foot. It's always important after you do something that creates a change to notice the change, appreciate it, and and then go like, hey, that's something I like. Let's try to recreate that. First on the left leg, and then later do the whole series again as soon as possible. So we're going to lift the leg up, feel the stretch in the back of the left leg. Flexing the foot, you'll get more stretch in the calf. Pointing the foot, you'll be able to get more stretch into the hamstring, which is the back of the upper leg. And you can do a couple point flexes here to kind of roll through the foot. And then with a soft point, we're going to begin the circles. So now the left hip is heavy as we take the left leg across the body to the right. And then we circle the leg forward and down. The elbows stay grounded. You're rotating your forearm in the same angle as the leg and the strap. Bring the leg to the top of the end of the breath. So inhale across the body, a little internal rotation. Go low, but out to the right, sorry, to the left. And then back up to the ceiling. And again, so you cross over to feel the stretch of the lateral hip and leg. And exhale, go low. Continue exhaling, 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 exhaling to the top. And let's do this again. Try to make it a point to keep the pelvis steady against the movement of the legs. So the size of the circle is only as large as you can keep your pelvis grounded, like you're welded to the mat. And as you get more control from your center, you can go into bigger circles and more stretch. But the stretch, while important, doesn't override the importance of the stability in your center. We're gonna do one more circle here. Keep reaching out on the foot and pulling back through the hip. Then you push the right side of the body down before the leg moves out to the left. Come up to the top and we reverse. So externally rotate, the left leg moves to the left, open the inner thighs, circle it forward and around, all the way around, and then up to the ceiling. At the end of the breath, feel the contraction of the abs. You breathe in deeply, pull the air into the base of your lungs. Keep reaching out with the foot and pulling back with your body onto the surface of your mat. And reach again. Right side heavy, and then the leg goes left. Left side heavy, and then the leg pulls over to the right. Keep the glute grounded as you lift the leg. And do that again. Circle here. Go look great. Come across and lift it all the way up here to the sky. And let's do one more time. Reach and keep reaching through both legs. Pressing the elbows into the mat, holding the work here in the upper body. All right, good. So we made it to the top and we're taking both ends of the bed in the left hand. Right hand or right hip bone, hold it steady. You rotate the leg externally, you bring it out to the side without rotating the pelvis or tipping it off the ground. You can feel as the leg goes out, the right side wants to tip, right? But then you lose the stretch and you lose the work in your core. So if you find that you've tipped, lift the leg, reestablish the right side, and then take the left leg out of the way again. This should be work, right? And then we're rocking the leg a little bit towards the shoulder and away. It's gentle. You want to just get a little bit of like teasing the inner thigh open a bit. And then you exhale to lift the leg up to the ceiling. Switch hands. Cross the leg over. First the hip is down. And then you can lift the hip, the waist, the ribs, the arm extends out, and you lift over your left hand. This leg stretches to the right wall. And you pull the leg towards your shoulder, and then you rotate it internally. Then we'll exhale to pull the hip down, lifting the leg up. Get another little stretch here in the back of the leg. And then embrace the leg into your body, the sky comes onto the side. Get in, pull it tight. And now when you extend the leg forward, shake out both legs again. Think like a big old Labrador coming out of a pond, shaking the water everywhere, right? And here, see if both legs now feel the same, if the two sides of your body are equally relaxed, equally open, equally long. All right. Good work. Isn't that nice? Your hips should always go like this, if only. So let's pull the right knee in. Hug it in, lift the left leg up, reach it up, rock forward and up. So chin to chest, lift your head, your neck, your Your shoulders rock forward to come up to sitting. Good. Rolling like a ball. What's next? Here's what's really important. Do you have enough padding underneath you? You guys all look good. And you can take the ball between your thighs. That's actually helpful. And you want to sit in the front third of your mat. So we're trying to round the spine as much as possible, which means we're doing that pelvic tuck feeling of pulling the navel back and the tail coming up, like it's being pulled like a tiger tail up through your knees. And then you're going to balance here on the base of your sacrum as you lift the feet up. Elbows are wide, edges of the feet go together. Yeah, you can squeeze it just below the knees, right? You want to press it into the muscle, not into the joint. And then the elbows are wide here. Now, upper arm curl. So you're bending the chest forward, you're looking down into the belly. Your chin is tucked in like there will be a fragile egg under your chin, between your chin and your neck. So here's what happens. Watch me for the first one. So you lift the tail and you go back to only the shoulder blades. You come right back up to your balance. So it's inhale, the tail rises. I don't throw my head back. The movement starts with the pelvic girdle here. So you lift the tail, you roll the blades. You exhale to come back where you started. Okay, pretend you're 6 years old. It really helps. So elbows wide. Yes, good. Yeah. If you have like a back injury, like this is not good for someone with osteoporosis. It's also not good for anyone who's pregnant. Other than that, like, you know, maybe spinal fusion, you might not want to do it, but we'll look at that later. Okay, does that feel good? So we consider a massage for the spine. What's really important about this is that when you're rolling, you want to use the right and left side of your body equally, so you roll in a straight line back and a straight line forward. Like you're not steering the sled off to the right and going into a tree, right? Now, when you're here too, what will help you as well is you push the shins up into the hands and you pull the hands back into the legs. Now do that and kind of feel your arms engage, and then you also get more engagement into your upper abs. You could just do that a bit, Joanne. So you don't have to roll, but find the position. And then get ready to roll. So you lift the tail, roll your shoulders. The head and neck never touch the ground, because obviously you don't want to slam your head into the floor. That's it. It's an inhale all the way back to the tip of the blades. You start the exhale while you're still going backwards, and then the exhale carries you forward to your balance point. That's good. So pull the elbows wide so you don't touch the shoulders, and pull the blades forward around so that your ribs sink back between them. There you go. And then roll one more time. Inhale back. Exhale forward to the left. That's good. Great. Okay. Anyone here with tight hamstrings or low back? Yes. So if you have that condition, which is really common, grab a yoga block to sit on. Yes. And so the way you tell is if you're sitting upright like so, and you can sit right on your sit bones without falling backwards behind them like this. If you're sitting like this, you need a block underneath you. If you can sit like this, even if the knees are a little bent, then you don't need a block. So sit like that and then just put sit bones on it. I've also had people who are comfortable with 2 underneath them, so it depends on your body. And your level of comfort sitting elevated, right? So legs are going to be open a little wider than your hips. Now we're doing exercise spine stretch. So we will have covered the basic 5, the intro for the Pilates mat today. And also a lot of the foundational work. This gets faster. We'll do more exercises next time you come, because everything builds on the beginning, right? You've got to learn the ABCs before you say cat. All right, so, or spell cat anyway. So extend the arms forward, press the arms lightly down, and lift your halo up and your chest up here. And then you look down, chin to chest, and then let your head pull your neck forward. And then your upper back, your mid back, your low back. So you're just diving in an arc forward and out to the space between your ankles. And you go over low here to feel that stretch in the back of your legs. Suck your waist back so your spine is forming a C curve. Good. And then you stack your spine coming up. So you press down through your sits bones and heels, and it's like you zip your back up the wall from the bottom to the top. We did that in one of the earlier exercises, right? The roll up. And then you're going over again. So look down, head, neck, shoulders, upper back, mid back, low back. The belly pulls back. Like someone just punched you in the stomach, try to suck it back here and go over. So you're not getting, it's not full hip flexion, but you're not lifting and like flattening like this. We're trying to get a lifted C curve through your spine to help stretch out that part that didn't want to bend in the roll down. Yeah. And then you articulate up. And as you rise, the collarbones broaden and the shoulders fall behind you. Leave your shoulder blades like capes, like a cape draping behind you. So as you go over, your head and neck go forward, and go forward, think of the cape sliding behind you up your back. So the blades aren't being pulled forward by the arms. The arms are carried forward by the movement of your spine. Press your heels down and pull the body up. The back muscles pick you up from the bottom to the top. Good, beautiful. And one more, just bend your knees a little bit so you can sit vertically here instead of leaning back. Come forward a little bit with your chest, good. And then look down and go over again. The waist pulls back. And you can hold on to your legs wherever you can reach. It could be your toes, it could be your ankles, it could be your calves, it could be your thighs. Everything good. And then now really suck your waist back, like after your heels to increase the stretch. And then we'll start spine up. Just slide your hands along the legs. Come on up here. Okay, so we just have a few more minutes. So I think what we're going to do is go into quadruped and then go into your flying table. So some of this you will have probably done in yoga classes, but it's a good way to start working strength into your planks here and into your core from another angle. So actually first, with your hands and your knees, everyone okay like that? If you need more padding, you can always fold your mat, either under your knees or under your hands. And your toes can either be curled under if you like that or released down. I don't have a preference either way for this. Now, what I want you to feel first is try to pull back slightly with the heel of the hands to activate your triceps. Like the hands are stuck on the ground and they're welded to the floor, but you pull back and see how that also gives you a feeling of engagement in the upper abdominals right under the chest, right? And then pull the knees forward a little bit. So now you feel some work in the low abs, right? Good. So this means that you're very steady in your core as you're here, which matters because now you're going to slide your right leg back, curl the toe under, and now think of pulling your left knee and your right arm towards each other. So you firm up the diagonal in the body, yes, and then pick up your right leg. So lift it without tipping to the left. So put a little more weight in the right hip bone and the right arm so that you're steady here. And then we're going to lower the foot down and slide the knee back underneath here. Should fit perfectly. And now here we go for the left. Extend the left leg back. Pick the leg up from your glute without leaning to the right. So you keep a little extra weight in the left arm. You feel that? And you're also maybe pulling the left heel of the hand towards the right knee and vice versa. And that should give you that diagonal sensation across the belly and the back. Everyone with me so far? Perfect. And then lower the knee. You all are doing fabulous. Good job. So now we're going to challenge you because once you feel that connection, you should be able to take the opposite arm up. So here's the thing. So we're going to slide the right leg back. And again, think left knee, right heel of the hand do together, pick up the right knee. Now pick up the left hand with the cat picking its paw out of the puddle and then extend it arm forward. Pull the left shoulder blade back. Reach long through your fingers and long through your foot. From up the body, like nice job. And then we bring the knee down. You pull the knee under you. Right. So it's so much better if you organize it before you move, right? Because did you feel how steady you were? It's like I'm yoga trained too. And when I was going to a lot of different yoga classes, I'd always get so frustrated because the teachers would just say, it's not true of everybody, but the ones I ran into, would just be take the leg back, take the arm forward, and they wouldn't explain how to be stable. Right? So then it's kind of everyone's like it's hit or miss whether you can make it or not. So here we go. So again, now we're gonna heel the head back, pull the knees a little forward, feel the engagement in your core already. And then slide your left leg back. Put a little extra weight in the left hand and the left hip bone, and then pick the leg up. Good. And then you're pulling the left heel of the hand towards the right knee and vice versa. Pick up your right hand. If you're steady there, you extend the arm forward. Focal point with your eyes. Reach long through the limbs. Reach long through the torso. And then we bring him back. You pull the knee under. Wag your tail, wag your head, shake it out. And then we're done for today.